Hi, my name's Justine and welcome to my short video giving tips to legal professionals posting on social media. So, you're thinking about becoming a lawyer or another professional but don't know what you can post online? The 5 key do's and don'ts that I'll be discussing, which have been identified as ethical risk areas, include confidentiality, inadvertent retainer, duty to the administration of justice, breach of no contact rule, and risk to reputation. The implied freedom of political communication is one of the reasons that there is no legislation prohibiting what you can post online, but that does not mean that there are no ethical obligations in place. In 2012, the Law Institute of Victoria was the first to offer some guidelines surrounding the use of social media. Since then, other jurisdictions have also released their own guidelines, which are very similar, if not identical, but reflect the wider conduct rules applicable to all legal professionals. If you're ever in doubt, just remember the rule of thumb. Lawyers should always use common sense and not say or do anything online that they wouldn't do in front of a crowd. Hashtag confidentiality. A lawyer is prohibited from disclosing confidential client information, as you can see, for instance, the WA rules. This includes responding to online criticism. Based off the American case of Reese Skinner, here is our fictitious Lucy lawyer responding to an online post made about her. Through her aggressive response, Lucy has disclosed confidential client information. This is definitely a big don't, which cannot be done under any circumstances. Instead, Lucy should have been polite and offered to resolve the matter privately. Hashtag inadvertent retainer. Social media, especially sites like Facebook, make it easy to connect with people. Post on their wall, like, comment, tag, share, etc. Ultimately connecting people in a way that's never been possible before. That includes connecting people to their lawyer friends. Instead of calling up your local solicitor's office and paying through the nose, how easy is it to just send them a message and post on their wall for free? Sure, this may seem appealing to the non-lawyer, but if the lawyer friend responds with an answer, they may become liable for that advice. In addition, the WA Law Society also cautions lawyers to think carefully about friending and socialising with clients via social media, claiming it may be seen as unprofessional. This best be kept to business networking sites or in private. Hashtag duty to the administration of justice. To demonstrate the close uniformity between the conduct rules across the Australian states, this time we'll borrow from the Queensland Law Society. Rule 4 particularly specifies that a solicitor must be honest and courteous in all dealings and must avoid any compromise to their integrity. Rule 5 prohibits a solicitor engaging in conduct that would diminish public confidence in the administration of justice or bring the profession into disrepute. In the Queensland case of Baker versus Legal Services Commissioner, the solicitor called a client an absolute moron and said that it was his fault that they were in such an effing mess. F off out of my reception area. Clearly, this was found to be conduct bringing the profession into disrepute, and the same principle applies on social media. Again, the Lucy example is inspired by a real-life US case, re Peshik. Here, the attorney posted a public blog containing confidential information about her clients and derogatory comments about judges who could be easily identified. This is obviously a big don't, as it was held to be conduct which tended to defeat the administration of justice. The do in this case would be to seek help from a friend or counsellor to help de-stress or talk about your problems. Lawyers and other professionals aren't immune to feeling anger, but we don't need to post it online for everyone to see. Remember our rule of thumb. Hashtag breach of no contact rule. For this rule, we'll have a look at the South Australian Conduct Guidelines. Rule 33 states that a solicitor must not deal directly with the client of another practitioner except in limited circumstances, as you can see here. Therefore, it would be unethical for a lawyer to send or accept a friend request to another lawyer's client. Where a client might already be a Facebook friend before the conflict arises, begins to muddy the water. Do you delete or ignore them? But if they're genuinely your friend, should you have to? Is it a conflict of interest? In this case, I would advise to proceed with caution. In the case of judges making Facebook friends with lawyers, US courts have dismissed arguments relating to Facebook friends having any advantage over non-friends, attributing no significance to these Facebook friendships. Indeed, friendships on Facebook may be as fleeting as the flick of a delete button. Hashtag risk to reputation. A lawyer's reputation and credibility are valuable assets which can be diminished quickly with each derogatory or demeaning meme posted online. Keep in mind, what you post publicly can reflect who you are both personally and professionally and will determine how others perceive you. These real-life Twitter profiles show that you can post about things from your own perspective or life in a way that will not diminish your professional image, even if everyone doesn't agree with you. Now, let's have a quick look at Lucy's profile to see how her posts might affect her reputation. I, for one, know that if I saw a profile like that, I probably wouldn't pursue that lawyer. While this may all seem quite obvious to some, there are real-life cases in Australia and other parts of the world where lawyers and other professionals have broken these simple rules and have been penalised for it. Whilst the rules governing judges on social media is perhaps not as clear, for instance having lawyers as Facebook friends, by following these guidelines, any lawyer or professional should be fairly confident that what they're posting will not breach any rules of conduct or ethics. It's a given that we all love sharing and tagging our friends in memes, but I would suggest saving this for a second or private account with only your friends to have a good laugh but also be on the safe side. I hope you enjoyed my video and thanks for watching.